Alright, welcome back to another colored pencil drawing here. I am doing Seattle Slew, and he is, of course, one of the other Triple Crown winners. There was a bunch of them, but these were just my top three favorite. And in this video, I time lapse my first half, and then I do have a second half, which is part 4. So if you guys are watching this series, part 1 and 2 were Secretariat, part 3 and 4 are Seattle Slew. So we're diving right in with the eye here, and the picture I had with this horse, I first was like really worried because I found one was kind of like blurry. I was like, well, I'll just try to like make it work. Well, I'm really glad that I kind of scoured the internet a little bit more to find a different reference photo, and luckily there was another one that was way more detailed, and I was like, ooh, I really want to use this one. It was the same, uh, uh, like how he was standing, his posture and everything. It was just like they had rendered it more or something. I don't know. So I was like, ooh, I'll use this one. So, and again, these are for my personal drawings, and I'm just making some videos so you guys can see how I go about doing my colored pencil. So, I also do use mineral spirits. I use a finesse pen, I think is what it's called. I mentioned it before in a couple of my other videos. It basically already has like some kind of solvent in it for the colored pencils, and it has a felt tip and a brush tip. So I like to use that on the eyes because some of my paintbrushes aren't that small, and I can't like I need to like kind of smudge it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like kind of smudge some of those darker colors together to blend them. You can burnish easily, definitely easily burnish. So anyway, so as we go along here, I start doing around the eye, start layering in the lighter colors. I'm pretty sure I used a light blue just to kind of see, to test it out. And then I do a like a peachy color. And then I just lightly start going and mapping things out with a light gray. And then I just go on from there, just slowly layering what colors I see, golds. There was some hints of purple, black, obviously, dark umber. Uh, I avoided using indigo. I wanted to save that because I didn't want a blue horse. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to look blue with all the other colors on there, but I didn't want indigo to be like the base color showing through all my other layers. So I use that indigo like way at the end. I mean, I go back through and just touch up things like in part in the fourth part on this series here. Like I honestly probably do it off screen because it was just so minuscule, some of the darker areas. It's just to create that richness of the darks, if that helps. And I feel like I took my time a little bit more with this one because I could see all those details in the picture. And there's a part of me that I wish I could go back with Secretariat and find like a high res photo. And I'm just speaking from like my own personal, like, man, I wish like I could have, but I am happy with the things that I have done with Secretariat. um the only thing, like I said, I guess I'm just kind of frustrated I couldn't find like the photo that I had in my head of him. um and you have to kind of think like, back in the day, those were the only photos that were available, and I was lucky to find just the ones that I could to reference from. So like there was an older photo of him that I used to help with some of the details, but not like how Seattle Slew was. That photo was very nice. So, and we'll also see how American Pharaoh holds up as well. And I feel like I gained some skill here. I once I got this Seattle Slew done, I was like, this is what I want. Like if I do horse portraits, like this is what I would expect me to do for somebody. Or if I say I'm doing a realistic horse drawing in colored pencil, this is what I hope they would kind of think of and what I could produce for them on a commission base. So, okay, so we are moving on here. Throughout the video, you will of course see me use one of my paintbrushes. I do not have any watercolor on them. That is for my mineral spirits. I use the odorless mineral spirits. I've had the same masterpiece odorless mineral spirits for a couple years now because you just need a little bit. You don't need a lot, and a little bit goes a long way. So if you're not sure about it, you can always get the smaller. They should have smaller bottles of it. The one I got was $8, and it lasts unless you're dousing it on your paper, which you shouldn't be. First of all, that could be dangerous for you because since they are odorless, you don't know you're actually inhaling all the fumes. So I just use a little bit, wipe the excess off on an old rag towel, and then I go in onto my paper. Because honestly, I still want that softness and some of the texture I put on there, but I don't want it all just to blend into the tooth of the paper. So what I'll do is I will take the little bit I have, like I said, to the rag, and then go over to my little testy paper and run out whatever's left on there. So the bristles have just enough to help loosen some of that wax and the pigment from the colored pencils onto the paper. And I just love when it does that because it brings like what the color is supposed to be from the colored pencils up, you know, like it makes it so vibrant. So anyway, so that's what I like to do. If you guys don't want to use metaspurs or if you're allergic to it or something, just be aware of that too. There are other ways around it. You can use the colorless colored pencil blender that a lot of companies will sell. It's basically just unpigmented wax. So you could use it to blend. Now there are some that actually work way better than others. The Derwent uh, color blender works really well. I like using that one. Prismacolor I think has one, but it doesn't work very well. Sorry, Prisma. But Derwent has a really good one. Colored pencil brand wise, let's talk about that quickly. So colored pencil brands that I use obviously Prismacolor. That is, I honestly use that for a lot of my base colors because it spreads so easily when I use the mineral spirits, and they layer on pretty quickly. So because they're so soft, you don't have to do 1,000 layers to get the amount of color that you want on there, the saturation. So I like to use them, and then I do have Derwents if I need to use Derwents. The Derwent Chromaflow. I have a couple Caran Dashes, but not a whole set, and it's a very select color from them. I got it like in a kit, like an art kit that my sister had gotten me for Christmas, and I really liked them because it's like they were soft-ish, like the Prismacolor, but yet they still held like their sharpness as if they were kind of like a hard pencil. So like they were in between. I was like, now I can see why people really like these pencils and why they are so expensive. So once we get our home built and stuff, we're kind of in the works on that. And I have like my own little studio and have I can actually kind of set aside some money for that. I would actually probably like to buy a set of those. That would be nice. And I'm hoping to get more into watercolor as well. So I just don't have the space. Oh, besides that, quick little side note, personal side note, I got a new computer. My old laptop went on the fritz. Luckily, I was able to save. I went to one of the computer guys here in town, and he was able to save my videos. This video that you're actually watching right now, he was able to save it. So that was really nice. And so anyway, long story short, got new computer setup, got I downloaded a new video editing software, so hopefully these videos are actually in HD now and not just like a free little software thing that I was using. And so I'm pretty excited. And now that I don't have my laptop sitting on the middle of my desk with the monitor and my PC kind of out of the way, my desk now is free and open that if I wanted to, I could start doing some watercolor, but this drawing is taking up a lot of my time, and I also am trying to get this diamond painting done as well. that I honestly just found on my Facebook that I started it 4 years ago. And I'm still doing it. It's like one of those really big ones, and it's the square diamond. So if you guys do diamond painting, you understand the struggle. So just trying to do little sections at a time. Anyway, I hope that this video finds you guys in a way that it might reveal maybe some things that might help you out. I do know for like the veins and stuff, what really helped me was mapping around in a light gray colored pencil. Mapping around those areas in the direction like the fur was growing, like just gently, like how would the fur gently go up over like the vein here, just in a couple spots, so that when you went back and did your darker colors, you start layering up, that those layers that you did went in that same direction, so that when you start getting your mineral spirits on there, you start blending and blending, that it looks uniform and it looks like it was supposed to be there. Okay, versus just trying to add it in on top or afterwards, especially with the paper I'm using. So the paper I'm using right now is the Strathmore mixed media paper. I don't know what pound or weight it is, but it's just the mixed media paper that you get like at Hobby Lobby, and it works really well for what I do. And I used to use like the matte boards that they sold for my colored pencils, because I thought I was going to like do a combination of watercolor and colored pencil, but I just found that doing this paper is a lot easier to mail than those boards are. It's a little bit cheaper as well. So I'm actually getting through it pretty substantially. So I'll have to get another packet of those. Anyway, moving on. So we do the muzzle. Okay, on the chain, quickly on the chain, I accidentally counted the chain links wrong. So when you guys do any chains, if it's like a bundle of chains, you probably don't need to worry about it. But if it's like a set few, I accidentally left out a chain. So when I and went back and colored them in, uh, there's like two chains that are a little bit longer than the other ones. You might be able to see which ones they are. But yeah, I accidentally did that, and it still kind of works in a way. Um, it just kind of maybe makes that area look just a hair flat. But hey, or it could just be pressing into the nose. You don't know. Art is subjective to the beholder. So, but yes, I will definitely be making sure that I count chains like that in the future. Again, if they go across the nose, or I thought about actually getting rid of it. I thought about, you know what, that chain doesn't really need to be there. I can kind of make it look like it was meant to be hooked up just on the side there. But I was like, you know what, I'll just do it across the nose. It'll kind of add a different element, like for your eyes to look at when you look at the drawing. So anyway, I hope this video finds it helpful. Please I'll watch the fourth part here, Seattle Slew, so we can finish that up together. And I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. It goes a long way. And give a like if you like this video, or leave a comment on anything that might help you or help me out with the drawing. So, and I'm going to do a full background on this too. So anyway, thanks guys. See you next time.